Hello there. This is a Boss DD-6 digital delay, one of the many tried and true delays in the Boss line. This one can be run either mono or stereo, so out to 1 amp or 2 different ones, which can create some very cool effects. And pretty simple controls. We got effect level, which is basically mix. We have feedback, which is kind of how long the delays are going to last for, very few repeats and more repeats. Delay time is kind of a fine-tuned control for the range of the pedal. And then there's a bunch of different modes here. Most are used with the tap tempo, which we'll talk about in a second. But basically, if we come up here to the 2600 mode, that's going to be quarter notes. 800 is going to be dotted eighth. 300 is going to be eighth notes. 80 is going to be triplets, I believe. Then there's a reverse hold, which is actually a miniature looper, 5.2 seconds, which is kind of rare for a delay pedal of this size and can be cool if you want that type of thing. And then warp, which creates some kind of cool oscillating effects as you hold the switch down. And then this one's got a tap tempo built into it, so if you press and hold the switch, it'll blink and you can tap in the tempo you want, which is especially useful with these top 4 modes there. So lots of ground to cover, so let's get started. Nash T-57 telecaster into the Morgan RCA35. I'm on the middle pickup. Sounds like this. Set to quarter notes we have. So you can see even with the feedback at noon, you're getting plenty of repeats there. Let's show you the level of this. When you change the effect level down, just kind of puts it back in the mix a bit. Let's create some more repeats here. So it doesn't sit quite as forward. Whereas if we bring it all the way up here, the repeats are going to be a little even louder than the regular signal. So that's useful to set kind of how present you want it to be. We're going to leave it around 1 o'clock. Feedback all the way at the bottom is very few repeats. And when I say few, I mean 1. There's a single repeat down there at the bottom. Whereas when you come all the way up here, there'll be a lot. And it'll hang out for a pretty long time. And if you max it out, you can start to get, as the name would imply, feedback. Like it'll just steadily keep building and getting louder. And that's when things kind of start to oscillate and get kind of crazy. So you'll probably want to back that off most of the time. We're going to back that off around to noon, depending on what you're going for. So to show you the different modes, I'm going to show you the tap tempo, which again, basically I can just press and hold this switch down here until it starts blinking. And then we can tap in whatever we want to tap in. So we've got quarter notes right here, so let's give it just kind of a... And then we're going to get what we tapped. Simple enough. Dotted eighths is where it's going to hit kind of in between, hit the notes in between the tempo that you tap in. So if we tap in the similar, then you're kind of going to get a... which you hear a lot of. It's a pretty popular effect, and with good reason, because it sounds cool. 300 is going to be eighth notes, so with whatever you tap, if we tap instead of just getting those 4 that we're going to get on quarters, we're going to get 8. Those eighth notes. Triplets are kind of strange. It's a very kind of offbeat thing, and frankly, you probably need a little bit more music theory than I have to fully appreciate what triplets do. So sorry I'm not much more help in that arena. Going to reverse. Reverse is just kind of a weird backwards delay effect. It's strange, and it's got cool uses, and there's cool ways to make it cool, but it can be a little difficult to control, but this has it if you're interested in that. Hold over here is the built-in looper, which engages when you press the pedal and stops when you disengage it, bearing in mind that you can only record 5 seconds at a time. You can layer 5-second sections over one another, and it can be a little tricky to get the timing down, but basically you just want to kind of start playing a pattern and then engage it and disengage it right kind of in time with the pattern you're playing. So I'm going to play a simple line and show you what I mean. It's a little sloppy at the end, but now it's just looping what I've already played. And then of course you can come back and play over the whole thing. So it's pretty useful for practicing and such, and like they said, that you can layer things over it if you want to do that. So I can go, and then it's going to keep playing that over what I played. You can come back on top of that again and you can play some more if you want. Click it to stop. And so really useful practice function, and really useful for, you know, practicing stuff in time, practicing scales, practicing improvising. Loopers are great, and this one's already got one built in. So if you want to delay anyway, excellent choice. And then warp is going to give you just some crazy stuff. It's basically going to give you whatever is displayed currently on the dials here when you have your volume turned up. And then when you hold the pedal down, it's just going to keep building in intensity and might oscillate and get kind of crazy. And then when you let go, it goes back to what's displayed there. So you kind of get a... kind of as long as you want it. So there's some really cool possibilities and things that you can do with that one as well. So anyways, that is the DD-6 in a very brief nutshell from Boss. Check out their website. They obviously have tons of pedals. Feel free to subscribe to the channel as well if you want to spend 5 minutes with some more gear. And other than that, I say to you goodbye.